and Triangle, and it's growing and growth over the last 5 years. As all of the present construction finishes, we will have 7,389 units in my single-member district. Multiplying that with the city's way of figuring out how many residents there are, they use 1.4 as the number. My single-member district will have 10,345 people in it within the next 2 years. My single-member district is supposed to be 2,000 people. So it's quite an growth of people coming in. So whatever goes on this plot of land is going to make another huge difference in the neighborhood. That means 10,000 people will be walking in and around that area, getting to Metro, getting to the bus, or getting to cars and restaurants and that kind of thing. It's mind-boggling.
Well, it's going to be a particular challenge from the transportation perspective as well. So
Yeah.
I think that as we continue to discuss this with the Office of Planning and the Office of the Deputy Mayor, we want to make sure that provisions are made for planning studies to try to address this obvious impact. So, moving on to the next item on the agenda. This is a request for a stipulated license for Le Pain Quotidien at 433 Massachusetts Avenue Northwest. And this is a location that is in Commissioner Maceda's single-member district. I will make a report related to, well, no, let's hear from the applicants first, and then we'll present the recommendation from the ABC Licensing Committee.
Hi, my name is Brian Malloy. I'm from the firm of Malios and O'Brien. I'm representing Le Pain Quotidien, and this is Dave Pilarski. He's from Le Pain Quotidien, so he has more information on if you have any questions about the actual operations, but just some things I want to highlight as far as their liquor license. Based on estimates, and Le Pain Quotidien has 8 other stores in the DC area, alcohol sales only make up about 2%. So this is as far from a bar or a tavern or a concern location as you can get. That are going to close at 10 p.m. every night. There's no entertainment endorsement, so there'll be no live music. And it's just a beer and wine license, not a full beer, wine, and spirits license. So those
I
are the
know that
highlights.
the people in the single-member district where your store is located are excited, especially with an outdoor cafe where they can sit, watch the traffic go by on Mass Ave and have a glass of wine is enticing. So we're looking forward to it.
That's great to hear. Thank you.
So I have distributed to the members of the commission a one-page summary of the ABC Licensing Committee's recommendation related to this case. We met on the 2nd of January with the applicants. Oh, how did you? And we reviewed the application, asked a number of questions of the applicants. We were satisfied that there would not be any negative impacts resulting from the granting of this application, and that indeed it is a sought-after amenity, and that everyone was comfortable with recommending the approval on the part of the commission. So, are there any questions about the one-page summary presented to members of the commission?
No, not questions. I just want to make a comment. The Mount Vernon SID has asked on occasion since they've opened it, you've only opened, what, a month?
A little less than that.
A little less than that, to be a part of a community activity, and they graciously provided all sorts of goodies on a really cold day for the Santa situation, the pictures with Santa, and people got their first taste of some of your product, and want to thank you and say we are glad that you're willing to contribute within the community as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we involve ourselves in every neighborhood that we open restaurants in. So.
So Le Pain Quotidien obviously is open already, and as a result, they would like the commission to support a stipulated license, which would allow them to begin serving alcohol as soon as ABRA is able to process the paperwork. Their appearance date for the roll call hearing is not until February 18th, so by supporting the issuance of the stipulated license, they would be able to move forward with alcoholic beverage service. So, Commissioner Maceda, again, this is in your single member district. Would you like to make a motion, or would you like me to make it? I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E support the issuance of stipulated and permanent licenses, restaurant, retailer Class D to Le Pain Quotidien, ABRA number 093865 at 433 Massachusetts Avenue, and that we issue that recommendation to the Alcoholic Beverage Regulatory Administration as well as the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. And I would ask for a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. We'll get that correspondence out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have a presentation from Richard Sandoval Restaurants. Are the representatives present this evening? So, I know that longtime residents of the community are grateful to Warren Williams, the owner of the property, for having acted on the community's request almost a decade ago not to renew the lease on the liquor store that was at the southeast corner of 7th and Q Streets. But unfortunately, what resulted was that we had a long blighted building that was a target of graffiti and obviously lost opportunities, for the community. So we were hopeful that with all of the revitalization and new commercial activity that's been taking place in the neighborhood, that someone would finally come along and recognize what a fantastic location that corner is, and we now have that. So we're very grateful to have Richard Sandoval Restaurants here to tell us a little bit about their plans and to answer any questions that the commission or the community may have. And again, they are not here for any specific type of support, merely to advise the community of what their plans are. So please proceed.
Sure. Thank everyone. I'm Jordan Bishop. I'm representing Mr. Williams, who couldn't attend tonight. We have finally found the ideal tenant, Richard Sandoval Restaurants. My associate Yvonne here represents that group. And we are very excited about moving into this neighborhood, developing the site. Right now, our timeline is such that we most likely begin construction in late summer. The restaurant will then open probably next spring, maybe April, May. And I just wanted to introduce you to Yvonne and let him tell you a little bit about Mr. Sandoval's restaurant group.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ivan Irichinin. I'm a National Director of Operation for Richard Sandoval Group. And
Would you use the microphone, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ivan Irichinin. I'm a National Director of Operation for Richard Sandoval Group, and I'm also a partner in 4 restaurants in Washington, D.C. We are small, not really small, but we are not corporate group. We have 25 restaurants all over the United States, 6 of those in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia area. In D.C., we are present on 14th Street, Georgetown, and Capitol Hill, which allowed me to be on a lot of ANC meetings and meet a lot of ANC commissioners and members and people, and we so far managed to find agreement that it's acceptable for both parties, and I think that we've been very good addition to any neighborhood we got. For this particular location, we are looking to bring a Mexican concept, kind of cantina, very affordable and delicious food. Part of the restaurant will be we have design that we think we're going to move forward with. done by Bree Husted, who also designed El Centro, which is one of our Mexican concepts in DC. The addition to to El Centro, and I'm not sure if we're gonna use the same name just because of proximity of other restaurants, or we're gonna call it differently. That's still not decided, but it will definitely be a Mexican concept, Mexican cantina, with 2 levels, 2,000 square feet on both levels, and we are planning to apply for the patio permit on Q Street. Addition to our normal business is going to be a quick style service. We're going to have a window that's going to be available for takeout. That's going to be if you don't want to sit down and spend an hour over here in a rush. You don't want to spend money on tipping people. You don't want to grab a margarita. That's going to be a good way for you to get some good food. Something similar to Chipotle. We have that. We just opened one in Vegas, and it's very successful. We are negotiating having 2 exhausts just because we want to add a rotisserie concept with a char grill. Let's add some different flavors and make it a little bit different than other restaurants. Kind of have a pretty similar concept but different menu. And this will help, I think, develop this fast food concept and also bring new items on the menu that are not going to be similar to other stores that we have in DC. Downstairs, it's 10 feet ceiling, 2,000 square feet. We would like to have a bar, and that's going to be kind of mixology-driven concept in the basement. And we are planning to have a DJ in the basement only. And like he just stated, construction got a little bit delayed. We were planning to open this year, but it looks like that we're going to shoot for next year, April, May.
2015.
2015, correct.
So this property is in Commissioner Chapel, Single River District. Do you have any other comments or questions, or?
Well, is there anything else that needs to be done before you all can move forward? And because you said that you don't plan to open until 2015. I mean, it seems like a long period of time. What else needs to be done?
That whole development will be changed, and he can speak more about the whole development. And we are waiting for the landlord to get all the permits, CFO for the building, for the restaurant, and apartment condos would be on the second level. But I'm not familiar with that project.
Sure,
Indeed.
we're still finalizing our design, working with the interior designers of the restaurant, make sure that everything, works with their concept, works with, the long-term viability of the project, and we'll most likely be filing our permit documents with the city, I'd say in the next 60 to 90 days. The city isn't very quick about issuing permits typically, so we've kind of budgeted for them to take 3 or 4 months to give us comments back, us to revise our drawings, then issue a building permit, probably in the summer, and that's when we would start construction, maybe in August, and then it will take us maybe 6, 7, 8 months to finish the build out, so it's ready for occupancy.
We usually do our build outs on our own. In this particular project, the landlord is developing the whole concept with apartments and commercial, and we will get in as soon as the landlord job is done.
Okay.
So it should be noted that Mr. Urakanen is actually a neighbor and a constituent in ANC 6E01, so we know that we can rely on him to be a good neighbor. And
The closest one to the property.
yeah, quite close to the property. So as the development moves forward, we certainly will be in contact with you to negotiate a volunteer agreement related to your ABC license. And I know that I'm looking forward to being able to walk around the corner and patronize the Richard Sandoval restaurant.
Thank you very much.
So, any further questions or comments from members of the commission?
I thought maybe this whole not going to be open till 2015 was so that you could really, really come up with the greatest margarita recipe. No?
You need to taste all others, and then we're going to elevate it for our neighbors.
We're going to make Marge our official margarita taster.
Oh, what a great job.
Any comments or questions from members of the community? If not, thank you very much for filling us in on the current status of the project, and we look forward to further updates and seeing the start of construction. And also, thank you to the Warrenton Group for very quickly responding to requests for abatement of graffiti as tags have been applied to the roll-down gates on the current property.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
See
all.
you in a few months.
So now, moving on to new business. If anyone has any other new business, we'll take that up first, and then I did add one item to the agenda. Hearing none, City Arts, the nonprofit that is responsible for a number of public art projects throughout the District of Columbia that incorporate youth in the creation of these works of art, that is led by Byron Peck, the noted muralist who's done such works as the Ellington mural, the mural celebrating Langston Hughes and Dr. Woodson, and the north side of 1507 9th Street and others throughout the District of Columbia, is proposing to do a mural honoring the neighborhood's history and the legacy of this library's namesake, Watha T. Daniel. That mural would wrap around the circulation desk, so the first thing that you would see as you come in the building, it would be a portrait of Mr. Daniel, and then as you go up the ramp, you'd see additional graphic images, including some abstracts of the frieze that used to run around the old concrete brutalist building that served the library since 1975. So they are applying for a $15,000 grant to defray the costs associated with that project from the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. And that grant application is due on Friday. So they've requested a letter of support from the commission for the application. Are there any questions on the part of members of the commission?
Do you have any concept drawings yet or anything, or no?
There is a project proposal that I can share with you.
Yeah, I'd love to kind of see what it's gonna look like.
Well, it's a narrative description at this point, but first they would be approved for the funding, and then they would develop the actual sketches. But there is a community input process for all of the murals that they've done with us in the community. So, any questions from members of the community? Hearing none, this is my single member district, and I would move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E issue a letter of support for the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities application by City Arts for a mural at the Watha T. Daniel Library, and that we communicate that support to the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. And I would ask for a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is that unanimous? Thank you very much. Any other new business? Hearing none. Moving on to old business. The commission is aware, and parts of the community are aware as well, that we have been trying to identify a location to be able to hold the commission's meetings in the Mount Vernon Triangle area. And I know that Commissioner Nigro and Commissioner Maceda have been working on this, and I will ask Vice Chair Nigro to report on the status of her investigations.
So, for now, it's gonna be the Northwest One Library. I was tasked last month with looking at the rec center also. No. And the rec center cannot accommodate only for Monday. So Frank can't do it on Monday. So for the moment, it is going to be on the first Tuesday at the Northwest One Library in their meeting space upstairs.
All right, any questions or comments on part of members of the commission? Any questions or comments on part of the audience?
Where is it?
New Jersey Avenue, what's that block?
Do you know where the Walker Jones School is and the Terrell Rec Center?
Okay. Yeah.
It's, it's part of the Terrell Rec Center building.
So 6:30 the first Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Tuesday,
Yes,
no
this-
more Wednesdays. That's,
So-
they could not accommodate us on Wednesday, or actually, they're not open on Wednesdays, late. So it was Tuesday night.
So yes, for longtime neighborhood residents and attendees of these meetings, this will be a change, but obviously we are a somewhat differently configured commission than we were in the past, and this is an opportunity to be able to reach out to residents that have not been regular attendees of these meetings, and since there is such a significant amount of development taking place in the Mount Vernon Triangle. So Do we have a calendar of the proposed dates to adopt?
Let's look out. So it's the first Tuesday. I'm not sure if there's any, see if there's any holidays that conflict with that.
Can we approve the calendar via email?
Oh,
And then post it on our website?
I think that we can approve the, the dates.
I
If
think
you just want
That
to,
should be fine, I don't, unless the library has a time, Karen, do you? No, I think it's, yeah.
all right, so I would,
It's fine.
Yeah.
so,
If the date falls on a holiday, or I can list the dates in the minutes, but if it falls on a holiday, I don't know how you.
we would have to make an adjustment because the facility would be closed, but it's rare that holidays fall on the second.
Right,
In
okay.
April, April Fool's is on the first Tuesday.
And that's election day, so,
Oh,
but that's not a holiday.
Oh,
That's the primary election day, for those of you that are not aware.
Would we have a meeting on that day?
Yes, the district government is open, so there's no reason why we would not have a
Well,
meeting.
that is a voting center.
But we're in that room upstairs. So that don't they use the gym for the
They do.
voting? Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're in that room upstairs.
Okay.
All right, so I'll make a motion that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E adopt a meeting calendar for its meetings in February through December of 2014. The meetings will,
You have a hand up.
oops, I'm making a motion, so we'll take questions in a moment. So the meetings would be held at 6:30 PM at the Northwest One Library in the meeting room on the second floor. And I will ask for a second.
a second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Questions on the part of the commission? Questions on the part of the audience?
Sorry, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I was confused. I guess Veterans Day is the second Tuesday.
Our November meeting will fall on election day.
Oh,
And I do think that means we will have to change because we'll all be running,
okay.
right? I don't think I
Our
will be in
stakes are 3 days out, so.
attendance, so I think we need to change the November meeting.
We can certainly take that up at a later date when we get closer to the actual date of the event. So,
All right.
all right, if there's no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Discussion of 2014 budget. Vice Chair Nigro, do you have a budget, or Commissioner Chapel, do you have a budget for us to review?
We're not gonna touch on it tonight.
Well, no, we haven't come up with a budget. What I would like is that for every commissioner, to email me any priorities that you have, and I will fashion a budget out of that, and we can discuss that and approve it at our next meeting or the meeting after that.
Thank you very much. Moving on to approval of expenses. Yes?
The security fund, NC security fund, number 8, or 9, or whatever.
12, that's correct. I did skip over one. But that also goes to Commissioner Chapel. So if you would make a motion for the commission's approval and participation in the ANC Security Fund.
Every ANC commission has to be bonded. The city has set up a bonding mechanism for us that we could participate in if we do not want to go through the process ourselves of getting someone, an entity to bond us. I'm sorry, since we are handling city funds. So most ANCs, as this one has done in the past, we participate in the security fund that's set up by the district government. So I move that ANC 6E participate in the ANC security fund, and the cost of that will be $25.
I second it. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Any questions on the part of the audience? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Commissioner Chapel, now if you would make motions for approval of expenses.
Sure. I move the ANC 6E pay Karen Loveridge, our minute taker, the amount of $125 for taking the minutes for our January meeting. I'll do all these together. I move that ANC 6E repay Commissioner Nigro the amount of $397.83 for the printing of the January newsletter. I move that ANC 6E repay Commissioner Nigro the amount of $10 and.
Oh, wait, is that 8? That was 56 cents.
That's okay.
66.
66 cents for the printing of the agenda, the January agenda. I move that ANC 6E repay Commissioner Nigro the amount of $298.22 for the printing of the December newsletter. And I move that ANC 6E repay Commissioner Nigro in the amount of $5.08 for the printing of the December agenda.
I second the motion. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Approval of minutes for the December 4th, 2013 meeting. Madam Secretary, would you like to make a motion, or would you like me to make the motion?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Approval of minutes for the December 4th meeting.
Oh, okay. I make a motion that we approve the minutes with corrections already received for the December meeting as they're written.
I second the motion. Any further discussion on the part of the commission? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. So moving on to announcements. I'll put my glasses on and see if there's folks in the audience that we'd like to hear from after members of the commission make any announcements that they would like to.
I have one. For those of you who have not had the opportunity to try the new Alba Osteria Italian restaurant at the corner of 4th and I, tomorrow they are hosting a neighborhood celebration. There will be food tastings of all the things that they cook there. I believe you do have to pay for your own drinks, but it is a joint venture between the Mount Vernon Triangle, SID, and Alba. So we would love to have you come. It's between 4 and 7. It's a happy hour.
All right. Other members? I'll take a moment to announce to anyone that isn't aware that a new establishment has opened at 1537 7th Street Northwest. It's called Ivy and Coney. It is a Midwestern themed sports bar. It's a very small location right now, but they will be expanding as a result of an $85,000 Great Streets capital grant that they have received. They will have a fully built out kitchen as well as a retractable roof deck. So that'll be coming up in the summer, but the bar is open and it's gotten incredible reviews, even though it's a tiny little space. So if you'd like to check out the vision of the folks from Kangaroo Boxing Club that created Ivy and Coney and see what all the buzz is about, then I would certainly encourage you to do so. I do see that we do have one of the candidates for Ward 6 council member here.
There are two.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Tillman's here.
Great. Well, why don't we have both of you come up, introduce yourselves to the commission and to the public, and we'll see if we have any questions for you. Please come up and use the microphone.
Is that you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Tillman. I am a former teacher at Eastern High School. I've actually taught high school science for 10 years, and I've been a resident of Ward 6 for 37 years. and my family has been here for 70 years. I just received a PhD in organizational leadership, and I've always wanted to run for Ward 6 office, so when the seat became available, I decided to go ahead and put my issues to work and gather my team together and decided to run for the residents of Ward 6.
What are you running for?
Ward 6 City Council.
As a Democrat?
Yes.
Any questions?
Any questions?
For Dr. Tillman?
You
Hearing.
do a nice job tweeting.
Thank you. I follow you. I couldn't wait to meet you. And I've already met Mr. Alexander at the Shaw event. Any questions from the audience?
Part of the audience?
Have you held elective office before?
No, I have not held an elective office before. I have a background in business. I've owned several businesses in DC and also in PG. I currently own a management consulting firm, Tillman Management Associates. It's an educational policy consulting firm where I consult with DCPS as well as public charter schools.
Great. Thank you for making yourself available this evening and for undertaking the opportunity to serve the residents of Ward 6.
No problem, and I'll speak to you all after the meeting. Thank you. Nice meeting you all.
Commissioners, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet everyone this evening. My name is Darrell Thompson, and I too am a candidate for City Council here in Ward 6. I want to congratulate one of my opponents, Dr. Tillman, for her throwing her hat into the ring. I got to tell you, I've been in politics and in public service for nearly 20 years. It's a lot different being on this side, as the commissioners can attest. I got in this race to be a voice for all the residents in Ward 6. I live on Capitol Hill, but I know that where we are right now, it's new to the ward, but it's not new to me. When my wife and I were dating back in the early 2000s, I used to spend a lot of time here. She lived right off of New Jersey Avenue in New Jersey and Franklin, and walked her dog there, got very familiar with this neighborhood. You know, Commissioner Maceda, I think you said it best. You described your district, your area as having 10,000 residents now. This ward is exploding. I got in this race because my background in public service, working as a deputy chief of staff for the Majority Leader of the United States Senate, Harry Reid, that's what I did before this. I dealt with major projects and major complex issues. And I'm about solutions and results and really trying to be a voice for everyone. People ask me, why'd you get in this race? Why are you doing this? This is crazy. Well, when I'm on the corner of 11th and S Street, right at the corner of the ward here, I thought it was a little crazy too because my fingers were freezing. It was so darn cold out there, I couldn't feel my toes. But again, I got in this to